Shalom, how about you, Melchai Barakatham? Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is part 2 of the lesson that I started earlier before I had to go off to work. But like I was stating, this is how Satan works, right? You got a kid and it turns out to be successful. And let's just say if the father wasn't around, whether he was pushed away or, you know, just the demands, or it was just too stressful, and the father's out of the picture, okay? But let's just say that kid grows up to be successful, then guess who takes all the credit for it? The mother. She's going to take all the credit for it. Why? Because in her mindset, oh, I did this, I did that. When she ain't did shit but sit on her ass and get free money. Yeah, you may work, you may have a job. But at the same time, you're still getting free money because you got kids. Okay? And you're putting you through a system or curriculum that's already laid out for them. So you ain't really doing nothing but just following the fucking breadcrumb. It ain't like you are breaking your back and training this child up in the talents that they have, especially when it didn't come from you. You see what I'm saying? So oftentimes these women, man, they take credit when credit is not due. Okay? Because by default, the state give the woman custody of the kid by default. The man has to fight for joint custody. You see what I'm saying? The man has to fight for that. So overall, it's already a disadvantage in a man's part. But when a kid grows up to be a failure, a bum on the streets, you know, selling drugs, being prostitutes, then guess who's going to get the blame for that? The father. Okay? But they would never insinuate the child's success off the talent of the father. But they would blame the failure of the father or the failure of the child on the father. Because the woman, she's just unaccountable. Okay? The woman can't be blamed for shit. Eve, she can walk up and down the street. She can talk a madness. She can be disrespectful, combative, abusive, whatever you want to call it. And yet, when judgment rises up to her, or somebody decides to put her in her place finally, then all of a sudden, it's gone too far. But yet, there's no limit as to how far they can go with afflicting your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Getting other men on you, getting you locked up, putting their hands on you, cursing you out, disrespecting you, okay? Degrading you in your relationship with them, okay? Making you look like a fucking bum. That's no consequences for that. But the minute you rise up and you be a man and you put her in a place, then all of a sudden you went too far. That's why this place is hypocritical. And this is why it has to be destroyed. It will be destroyed. And I've been watching a lot of videos. You women, you've been catching a lot of L's. All right. And that's the spirit why the Lord has been getting on these women. Okay. Because under this whole new Biden administrator, they've gotten extremely proud because you have the Momo agenda. Okay. And it's a shit show, man. You know. So anyway, man, I got a precept here. This is the book of Sirach 26:1. It says, "Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days should be double." Like the young lady said in the video. She said, have you called that man? Have you called him? Have you called him a king? Have you checked on his well-being? Because they don't understand the type of mental distress that Israelite men are just under Esau. They don't understand it. And they do understand it, but they don't care. Because it's just like kick the horse while he's down. You know, everybody beats on this person when they know he's down because he can't strike back. He have no power. Okay, but see, what's going to happen is that the Most High is going to raise up the men of the Lord, and it's going to be a paradigm change, so to speak. Okay, and all those people that afflicted us, they're going to be afflicted. And a lot of it is going to come from us directly, man, because the Most High is going to raise the spirit on brothers to give vengeance on the stead of the Lord, you know. So it says, "A virtuous woman rejoiceth in her husband, and he should fulfill the years of his life in peace." And that's not the case here. Like she said, man, you dealing with a bunch of entitled knuckleheads, you know, because why? Their mothers, their fathers. You got these jakes out there that justify their behavior. Is that, oh, well, my queen could never do nothing wrong, but yet she's an adulterer. Yet she stole from people. She's disrespected people. She's a grimy, she's a thief. She's a murderer. She's aborted babies. You know, she's put herself out there in the media sites. But all that seemed to be commended. But when the father dips away from that and tuck his tail low and get away from that confusion, then all of a sudden the father's the problem. You know, but then when shit gets bad, then all of a sudden now you got to come and fix things. Nah, that ain't how it works. Okay? And it says here, "A good wife is a good portion, which should be given to a portion of them that fear the Lord." And brothers fear the Lord, but they don't have God-fearing women, because we're in a setup that prophecy of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, is going to be fully esteemed. Okay? This is when that prophecy is to kick off. Okay? Now, the Gardanian pact have always been, but it mainly took place on this side, mainly in this captivity especially when the women's lib was signed into Congress, so to speak. That's when the whole raising up the mantle of the independent woman has been a stifle. So therefore, brothers can be diligent in the work, but they'll still get a bag of demons. Okay, like shit, look at Job. Job's wife was wicked. Lot's wife was wicked. Remember, she looked back. She didn't care about the Lord. Okay, so oftentimes the Lord pair men up with women that don't believe to test your integrity and your faith, you know. And once you pass that test, then the Lord just get rid of them anyway. All right, and it says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards the Lord, he should at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. And that's only if you have a virtuous wife. But we don't have virtuous women, man. Okay, I damn sure have never had a virtuous woman. Okay, and I don't think most brothers did. I mean, now you do get some women that's decent that you can manage with, you can build with, but even then, that's still a detriment because something is susceptible to go left. Eventually, it will go left, and then she will start to buck up. Okay, and if she don't like what's being done and what's being said, then ultimately, you know, she'll leave. She'll find another dude, or she'll find a way how to make your life miserable. You know, they'll put you on child support because they're bitter. Okay, because you're not coming through and doing what they think you should do at their time or in their time when they think shit should happen that way. Okay, like a lot of times the miscommunication among the parents. If you co-parenting, don't the father have just as much right to know what type of schools and institutions you're going to put the kid in and decide on a price that y'all can come up and pay? Instead of you just going behind the father's back and putting them in some affordable school, and then you hit a nigga up and say, hey, pay $600 a month. What? Nah, that ain't right. That ain't how that works. But then you want to call the father and talking about, you know, you got to do your part. Fuck you mean, do your part. You know, and this is just an example because I hear Jake talking about stuff like this, and that's cruel. That's totally unethical, man. But that's the type of shit we dealing with. That's why, hey, a lot of you women, you just got to be flat out put to death. Okay? Verse 6, it says, but a grief and a heart of sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. Okay, and that's the case now. You got a group of these she-brews, these bugged out head wrap demons, these Israelite women that's coming together, talking over each other on this live forum, talking shit about men, okay? Talking shit about men and how they don't think that men's supposed to be polygamous by nature. Most of them can't get with the truth because they can't accept the fact that indeed it is lawful for a man to have another wife, whether he takes on that or not. Most cases, you know, when Jake is with a woman they really care about, they don't really deal with other women because, I mean, for what? It's just not expedient, okay? But that's not good enough. They don't like the fact that you have that right as a man, okay? And if they can't change that right, then they're just going to make your life hell. They want you to basically say, well, the Most High is wrong for giving you that authority. Basically, they saying the Most High is wrong for that. Okay, even if you don't exercise that right, especially in this kingdom, I mean, why would you want to? But the fact that it's written in the scriptures and the fact that you know it and the fact that you know that you're royal, no matter what you do, that's going to always be held against you. That's the fact because your nature, you're basically being attacked for being a man. You're being attacked in your manhood and your testosterone. Okay, they're attacking your manhood. That's what this society has done. You can't put your hands on them. Okay, you can't yell at them. I mean, even if you do yell at them, it ain't going to do no good. You can't rebuke them. You can't put them in place. All the odds is against you, okay? And the kid is going to always side with the parent because she has more of the influence of the mother. That's why the scriptures say, so should the mother, so shall the daughter be. Because when you have a one-sided story and the daughter or the father or a son is with the mother and your father's not around, she's not worried about his side of the story. And her mind said, well, shit, he ain't around. He don't care about me because of the bullshit she put in her ear or his ear. Okay, like I've heard several Jakes, man, my father was a coward, he wasn't there. And I hate that shit, man, because I'm like, have you ever talked to your father? Okay, if he wasn't initially a bum and he was initially in your life, then something had to happen to push this man away. I don't see men just getting up, leaving their kids just because. Something had to happen for him to leave, especially when he played a very active role. Okay, so that's what people don't want to investigate, you know? So, like my pops, man, my pops was around, but it was times he wasn't around, but I never hated my father. I never hated him because I understood and I knew the type of mother, I knew what type of woman my mother was. I knew what type of woman she was, and she was not a stable woman in certain aspects, man. She was very emotionally traumatized. She was very negative, very destroyed in the mind, and that's 95% of our women. And like I said in the previous segment, she projected that image upon her kids. She put that negative, that evil or that hateful spirit on her children. And they do that and don't even realize it. Cursing the father out in front of the kids. Now you looking at your father. Now you're mad at him based on the shit she's saying. You know what I'm saying? When this man ain't done nothing wrong to you. Okay, he just didn't want to deal with the fucking negativity all the time. You know? No say so. But yet I want your money, but you have no say so on what happens. Nah. You can eat something, man. All right? That's why it says here. But the Greek, and it says, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. And it says, and he that have hold of her as though he had hold of a scorpion. And guess what? A scorpion, it stings. It's poisonous. Okay? It's not good. It says a drunkard and a drunken woman and a guide abroad causes great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. There's always an excuse as to why they do what they do. It's always justified. It was always justified why they was on Facebook, IG, Snapchat, why they was walking the streets 2 o'clock in the morning. It was always justified. And a mindset, that don't give you a reason to be mad at them. You dealing with a woman and she's out there like that, and of course you're a man, you're gonna feel some type of way about that. But you shouldn't. You're supposed to just let her do what she wanna do. You know what I'm saying? And the best she can give you, oh, I ain't talking to nobody. That ain't good enough, especially when you insinuate you're dressing a certain way, behaving a certain way. But the only thing I have to go off as a man is, oh, I ain't doing nothing. Well, why would I believe that when you ain't changed your ways? And especially when you went further left. Why would I believe that? Okay? Because obviously something that caused you to steer in the left direction is keeping you there. Something is amusing about it. So therefore you stuck there. Because you like the attention and the accolades and the compliments that come along with it. So just one man ain't gonna turn that around, especially if you don't have respect for him. And especially if you bitter and you angry about certain shit that went down because of your fucking behaviors. That's why it says here, man, we don't have no rest here. Okay? And it says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. Okay? And if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Right? Okay? And this whole chapter is really good. Okay? Because these women are shameless, man. Going down to verses 24. Dishonest woman contempted shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. Nigga, I ain't got no respect for you. Nah, I ain't got no, you ain't doing what you supposed to do. Who the hell are you to tell a man what the hell he's supposed to do? You need to fucking fall back with that. Who the hell are you to tell any man what he's supposed to do? Your job as a woman is to serve the man and be quiet. Okay? Do what you supposed to do so, hey, things could run smoothly. You don't dictate. That's the problem with our women. They want to dictate our role. And that's the type of shit that gets you put in your place, man. Well, you supposed to take care of your role. Nah. You supposed to shut the hell up. That's what you supposed to do. But these women are so out of order to the point when all hell break loose, hey, you women going to be a primary target. And any simp that tries to come in the middle of that, hey, you going to get your shit taken off too. Because, you know, it's the end of the era for all beta male simps and Keishas out there. Because ain't no way in hell that a man got to take on all this responsibility when you could just sit there with the ruined cooch, okay, with the ran down box and dictate orders. No, okay? And it says a shameless woman should be counted as a dog, but she that shamefaced will fear the Lord, okay? And it's coming, and it's coming to the point, man, to the head now that you people getting ready to start suffering. And the men of the Lord are going to be the commodity out here, man. And a lot of you women going to be left behind. All right. And it says a woman that honored her husband should be judged wise of all. But not in this society. They get accolades off dishonoring you, man. Off telling you ain't shit. Nigga, he ain't shit. Nobody cares for you. Nobody likes you. Everybody think this and that. They get credibility off that. Versus them saying, oh, well, you know, yeah, he is good. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's working. He's taking care of his child. You know, he's taking care of the house. You would never get credit for that because when it comes down to that, oh, you're supposed to do that. But the minute that you do your own thing, then all of a sudden you ain't nothing. Okay? But it says, but she that dishonored him, her pride should be counted ungodly of all. And that's coming. Okay? Verse 28, it says, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. Of men of war that suffer poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by. We're not set by. Okay? We have no support outside of the brotherhoods. And I'm not saying that you ain't going to have women that ain't going to rock with you. Because you're going to have women that rock with you in this thing. But overall, when it's not going the way that she deems it she'll go, she'll rock with you for a little bit. But after a while, when she's getting irritated with the whole Israelite thing, when you're bringing out facts and you're trying to correct her according to the truth and lay down some type of order so things could run smoothly so she don't go out there and get herself killed or put in a bad predicament, then all of a sudden, that goes out the window. She's not going to stand by you. She's going to look to despise you and pray for your downfall. Trust me. You got women that actually try to put curses on men. You know, talking to psychics, witch doctors, playing with fucking all types of stuff, man. And it says, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin, the Lord prepares such as one for the sword, man. Okay? So there you go. So a lot of you women, you're getting ready to get the sword, man. All right? And a lot of brothers, you women, you got child with women, kids with these women, they're getting ready to get judged. Okay? So this is the book of Sirach 3. And I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, for the Lord have given the father honor over the children, right? And have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons, right? But see, our women, they don't do that. Like the woman made an excellent point. She said, but he got to take care of your bad kids. You see, the woman don't give you the authority. In her mindset, oh, it's my kid. My name is on the birth certificate. They gave it to me. Well, that was an unwise choice because in the ancient world, by default, the child went to the man. See, that's the backwards of it all. You women are incapable of raising productive kids. And if you do raise a so-called successful kid, their minds are all fucked up. Okay, you indoctrinated them into what success is. Whether they grow up and be a basketball player, a tumbler, instrument, a band player, whatever. They may be a scientist. Okay, they may have been successful as far as on a worldly accolade or worldly dispensary, so to speak. But their minds are all corrupted. Their minds is all destroyed by Babylon. Okay, because not one time have you brought them up in the word of the Lord and told them that, well, look, man, this is your father. He has you have the utmost respect for this man, no matter what happens. Okay, and any of you women that's teaching your kids to disrespect their fathers, the Lord is going to judge you, especially men that's in his faith. It says, whosoever under his father making an atonement for sin. So a lot of these kids are already doomed because of the mothers, man. And that sin is going to fall upon the mother. It says, and he that honored his mother is as ones that laid up treasure. But whosoever honored his father shall have joy over his own children. Okay. And when he maketh his prayer, he should be heard. But he that honored his father shall have a long life. Okay. You see the father. The man is very important. And he that is obedient to the Lord should be a comfort unto his mother. Right. That's why a lot of times when I talk to my mother, she's bugging out. I'm able to tell her certain things and she's able to calm down. Like when my uncle died, she was bugging the fuck out. She thought he was burning in hell. And I had to pull out some Bible scriptures like, no, the scriptures say even the wicked is at rest when he perisheth, man. Okay, so she was like, well, thank you. You know, that makes me feel better. Because nobody else knew. Nobody else knew how to comfort her. You know, they can cry and say, oh, he's in a better place now. That's it. But I gave her scripture to substantiate that he's okay. Okay, even though he was of the 2/3, he's going to come back in his right mind. He knows what's up now. And he's rooting for us, man. That gave her comfort. That's why it says here. It says here, he that is obedient to the Lord should be a comfort to his mother, because overall, you know, our mothers and fathers, they're not in the truth, but, you know, they're proud of us in some way, though they may be afraid for our lives, because my mother, she just like that. She's afraid for me, you know, and I tell her stop worrying all the time, but you know, that's just how she is. She's a nervous wreck, you know, but in the spirit, she knows I'm doing okay, you know, and I'll be all right. Like my grandmother be bugging out. She say, have you heard from such and such? My mother be like, mama, he cool. Trust me, if something was going on, I know about it. She said, he's okay. Because she knows the Lord got us, man. You know, now certain things I don't tell her what I go through, because to be a peace into her spirit, because she'll lose her mind and she realized my car just burnt down. And her mind said, I died with the damn car. No, I'm here. I'm very good and well. You know, actually, my health has been a lot better since that happened. Blessing in disguise, right? You know, even though I liked the car, but it made me feel, it just, the fact that it was still around and the stresses of it, I was getting real sick dealing with it, man. It was affecting my health because it was something going on inside. It was a demon in it. And the minute the Lord burned, like they call fire a cleansing agent, once the Lord burnt her up, shit, that demon, whatever it went, man, I'm good now. You know, I don't really have lightheaded spells. And the crazy part about it is I ain't even got to drive the car like that, and I still get kind of messed up. Then again, I've been working with a different coworker too. He don't smoke and none of that shit too. So, but regardless of that, you know, the Lord, you know, he delivered us from that. All right. But it says here, honor thy father and thy mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children, right? And the blessings of the father is not in the house, because by the fault upon the child being born, Esau, he outwhoops that because he gives sole custody to the mother. The father is by default what they consider a non-custodial parent. Okay, so what happens is the father is liable for all the bills. So if you break up, and the thing of it is, it's wicked, because in an act of child support, technically she's not supposed to be able to put you on it unless you guys are married. You see how it works? But see, Esau is stealing money. He's racketeering Jake. You know, he's extorting Jake for money. And he play off the ignorance of these stupid ass women that go down there and use this system so they can export the men, man. Just so they can go out and live that extravagant life. But guess what? All that shit finna end. Child support finna be shut down any day. You all right? Trust me. And it says here, for the father, but it says, but the curse of the mother outrooted foundations. And this is the reason why there's no respect. Okay? That's the whole point, you know? So anyway, brothers, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Ball.